I can upload the recording to YouTube after.
It's not a problem, bro.
It's not a problem. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, welcome to round 9 of the RNT regionals, and this one was actually another fun one. Like, this was a deck I actually did not expect to be playing against. And before we actually get into the game as well, guys, let's go ahead and just say the disclaimer that I'm putting at the beginning of every one of these videos. If you have your footage from an RNT regional, do not upload it unless you have explicit permission from your opponent to upload it, because you're gonna get in trouble with RNT, you're gonna get in trouble with their policies, and yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the game because we're gonna see how it is. And as you can see, round 9, X2 Kaido. I have played against literally 9 different strategies this entire tournament, and we get Kaido in round 9. And I really cannot believe that Kaido is doing this well. Like, I didn't expect to see Kaido, especially seeing as Kaido recently has just really done nothing in OP02 and especially in OP03 so far, and seeing it do something now, seeing it be literally X2 in this tournament, like, it surprised the hell out of me. It really, really did. But yeah, right now we're just going over common courtesy. We're going to see how we're going to cut. We're going to do the dice roll, and we're going to get into this game. So I believe he rolled his dice, or no. It looks like we're going to be rolling one of my dice, and I can't remember which dice was mine and which one was his, because we just rolled one twice, and we're going to see. So I think he got the 6, or I got the 6. No, we both got 6. Okay, that was a 2, and that's a 1. So one of us got a 1. Whoever's on the play is obviously the one who won the dice roll. So we're going to see how this went. So we're going through our hands, seeing if we want to keep. It looks like I chose to keep here. Will the Kaido player choose to mulligan? He chooses to mulligan. Okay. Chooses to shuffle up his hand, get a different one, make sure he doesn't have the same cards, because generally, if you mulligan, you don't want to see the same cards. You want to see some different ones. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and try and find out how we're going to go ahead and play against this, see what the opponent's going to have, and yeah, just generally have a good game, right? And also, props to this guy on Kaido, like, generally. Going X2 with Kaido in this format, where Big Mom and, like, Ace and Zoro and Whitebeard and all of this is around, it deserves, like, a congrats, right? So, we are going first, so we won the dice roll. We played Dagura, and we're going to use Dagura's effect. We're going to rest him to go ahead and play a Nami, and then we're going to look at the top 5 cards of our deck, potentially adding a card to our hand. Do we whiff? We get a Robin. Okay, interesting choice that I got a Robin. Like, against Kaido, Robin doesn't really do a lot, so we're going to see how functional that actually will be. And we go ahead and swing 5 into the Kaido player. He does go ahead and take it. And we're going to go ahead and see where we go from here. So we rest 2 from the looks of it. We play a Dadan, looking at the top 5 of our deck, potentially adding something from our hand. I do see 2 1-drops. I see an Otama and a Nami. We choose to take the Otama. Now, I'm assuming we took the Otama over the Nami there just because Otama will allow us to go ahead and decrease his stuff to kill with the Robin, so it just seems pretty decent to be able to do that there. So we go ahead and pass. He goes ahead and rests Freedon, plays Onigashima, the best card in Kaido, just infinite ramp pretty much. Very, very nice. And we go ahead and pass turn there. He chose not to swing with his Kaido though. Okay, maybe he just forgot. Like, it's the end of the day, it's been a long one, like, it happens, right? So we go ahead and use Dagura's ability, going ahead and playing the Chopper. We put 2 onto the Dan, swing into his Kaido, and he goes ahead and counters for 2. We swing another 5 into the Kaido, and he goes ahead and takes the life, which he gets a trigger of a Basil Hawkins. Now, this was actually, when I saw this, I was like, that's actually a really interesting card, because it's on play, play a Don from your deck. So essentially, he triggers, gets a free Don, which is kind of interesting to see, and maybe one of the reasons why he was able to get this far. So we go ahead and shambles here, go ahead and get Law, use Law's ability to play Nico Robin from our hand after returning the Dan to hand as well. And it's now his turn. So what's he going to do? Because he's on 7 Don now. So he could just play a King, but he can't play the King here because he goes ahead and swings for 6 with the Kaido. And he does, wait. Oh no, he must have been on higher because of Onigashima, right? He's been ramping, right? So he goes ahead and plays the 7-drop King to go ahead and wipe out a Brook and a Nami, which is, well, actually no, he wiped out 2 Namis here, what am I saying? Which is actually really, really strong for him. Just getting rid of 2 of my characters. This is one of the reasons why Fire Fist is such a strong card, guys. Like, free Don, discard an event, and just wipe 2 characters. It's really good against Law. So we go ahead and swing for 5, and we kill the Basil Hawkins. and he chooses to just take it. Okay, maybe he's got a clump of like a lot of high costing cards in his hand, because a lot of purple cards don't actually have a counter if they're very high cost. So we go ahead and rest 2, play the Dadan, grab a Makino out of that, and we're going to go ahead and see what we do next. Like, we've got a lot of 1-drops in our hand from what I can tell, and we like that as lore players. We've got a lot of 1-drops. So we play another Dadan, use the Dadan's ability, look at the top 5, and we do see some choppers there. We see 2 choppers and a Makino. So we go ahead, and I think I grabbed the chopper there. I didn't actually see. And we go ahead and rest 2 more, go ahead and shambles, to go ahead and bring out a Basil Hawkins. Okay, so we've got the Basil Hawkins, we've got the lore. He goes ahead and counters, though, when we swing into life with our lore. And we swing for 6 as well, and he goes ahead and takes it. So currently, he's just getting all of this damage into his face. It looks like he might have gotten a trigger, though. So he does have a trigger. He got the Thunder Bugua, which allows him to play a Don from his Don deck. Really nice for him. Like, that's going to allow him to get to 10 Don. And if he has the 10-drop Kaido here, that's going to be really bad. Like, I think if he just starts swinging, we just start blocking. But he doesn't. He goes ahead and doesn't have the 10-drop Kaido, which is really good for us. Because, like, him being able to wipe the board, absolutely insane. Right, so he goes ahead and plays a Queen, though, drawing 2 and discarding an Onigashima. Pretty useless once you've got 1 on the board already. Like, the only deck that can actually deal with stages right now, to my knowledge, is actually black. So it's good to get rid of it. He doesn't really need another one. And people are even playing that event that kills the stages too, funny enough. So, Kaido player is currently thinking he's going to swing for 7 into lead, probably. No, it might, okay, probably swing into the lore, because I dropped a 2k counter. So, we go ahead and unrest, draw for turn, and see what we're going to do. Okay, so, we've got a lot of options right now. We can go ahead and start swinging with this queen up. Like, we can put 1 onto the lore, swing face, see if we can get him to waste a 2k counter. But we're going to go ahead and start with an Otama. Okay, so we Otama decreasing the king. Okay, so it looks like we're going to try and get rid of this king then. We put 1 onto the Basil Hawkins, and we swing for 7 into the king. So that's actually pretty good, because it means he has to waste over a 2k counter, and he goes ahead... Ooh, he goes ahead and uses... I forgot the name of the card. The event that can go ahead and Negadon, and just go ahead and decrease your leader and characters by 3k each. That's really good. Okay, so that's something good. And I think if I remember correctly, I actually didn't know he targeted my leader with this ability, or it might have been later on in the game as well. So I don't know. Like, generally, I just remember an interaction where he targeted my leader, but I didn't know he targeted my leader. So we're gonna see what happens. So pretty much we are in a sticky situation, because now the Basil Hawkins has been decreased by 3k. So I've got to kind of consider, how do I want to play this? So we swing for, well, 8 or possibly less into the king. Okay. So because we're swinging for 8 though, it might have been like that. So he lets the king die. And I think at this point I'm just debating, do I want to put 2 more onto the Hawkins so it goes up to 6 again? And we do choose to put 2 more on the Hawkins, swinging for 6 into life. And he goes ahead and 2k counters. We rest 2. We're going to go ahead and return our blocker lord to play a blocker chopper. Okay, so this is actually a smart play, just for the fact that it means that we can start cycling more cards again on the following turn and still have a blocker. Some people don't realize that, yes, you can keep these big characters on the board, but they're not really going to do anything outside of swings. So, honestly, playing the chopper there did make sense to me, especially seeing as I think Hell's Paradise, the name of the event is. Like, I think he went ahead and decreased the lore as well, so we couldn't even swing with it into leader. So it means that we can go ahead and use it, utilize it on the next turn as well, which is nice. So we can go ahead and play it, bounce the Dadan's back. Like, it just makes sense. Plus, we're on 4 life still as well. This Kaido player has not hit us in the face once. We just kept stopping him every chance he's gotten. So currently, looking at our hand, we have 2 blocker lores in there, which is really nice. And we also have Nico Robin as well. So what's the play here? Maybe we start swinging with the Dadans. Maybe we go ahead and swing the Basil Hawkins for like maybe 8 again. So let's go ahead and see. So we swing for 8 into life, trying to get rid of that last life, so next turn we can just go ahead and just go full on in to go ahead and deal with his board. And if he chooses not to, he's just going to be in a very sticky situation himself. So let's go ahead, see what he does. What's he going to do? Is he going to go ahead and block it? Is he going to counter? Like, he does have, okay, so he does have Hell's Paradise again, which is just going to go ahead, sorry, Hell's Judgment again, to just go ahead and decrease the Basil Hawkins. And I think this was the interaction where I forgot, I didn't hear that he targeted my leader. So this is actually a tough situation for me, where I'm like, okay, I swing, but I didn't know he targeted my leader. So at that point, I was like, oh, wait, I didn't know this. So we had to rewind it a bit because I didn't hear him say that. And he allowed me, just because obviously, like, I didn't know he targeted my lore. I didn't know he targeted my leader. I didn't hear him say my leader. I thought he targeted a character because I forgot that Hell's Judgment, or Judgment of Hell, doesn't actually can target your leader as well. I didn't actually know that at the time because I completely forgot. I don't play purple, guys. I do apologize. But yeah, so we go ahead and consider now what to do. We've already put the Don on lore as well, which does make it a bit of a 60 situation. But we're gonna go ahead and see what we do. So let's go ahead. Maybe we still swing. I'm not too sure. Like, at this point, we've already swang with Basil Hawkins. He can't restand because we swang into the leader. Like, I think at this point, I'm generally just debating, do I swing still? So we go ahead and swing for 6 into the lead, and he goes ahead and 2k counters it, because obviously he's down to that. So we go ahead and use Shambles now, utilizing the ability to go ahead and add back the Dadan, and then play the Dadan, and we get a Nami. Very good there. Now, what's the play, though? Do we go ahead and pass? We do just pass. Okay. So, we've currently gone through 2 Judgments of Hells. We've currently got our lore leader on the board. We've got Dadans. We've got Dagura to get free plays if he doesn't kill the Dagura. And he's on 10 Don. So, if he does just drop a 10-drop Kaido at this point, it is kind of upsetting. But we'll see how we deal with this. So, he goes ahead and swings with Kaido for 8 again. Probably into the Basil Hawkins. Trying to get rid of that, and we just let him kill it. We let him kill it. We don't need it anymore at this point. He's on 1 life. He's not even blocking with these queens anyway. And he does go ahead and swing with the queen for 7 into life, and we choose to take it. And it looks like we got a restand lore there as well, which is very good for us overall. So he's got 6 Don left. Choices are he could swing with the queen, or he could go ahead and play maybe a 6-drop king to go ahead and remove another character on our board. But he rests 4, plays 2 blockers. Okay, that's very good. Like, just dropping 2 blockers out of nowhere. And he's got 2 done up, so he might have another Hell's Judgment as well. Or Judgment of Hell. I generally cannot remember the order of the card's name. But we go ahead and use Otama's ability, decreasing the rested queen, if I'm not mistaken. We swing 5 into the queen. That is rested. I think at this point, though, I should probably swang with the Dadans into the queen. Like, it would have made more sense. So he goes ahead and blocks. We swing 5 again. Oh, so maybe we're swinging into life, actually. Swinging into life to maybe get rid of his blockers or try to force out this last life. So he goes ahead and blocks again. We go ahead and put 5 onto Dadan. And we go ahead and swing for 5 again. He does choose to take. And at this point, what do we do? Like, we could just shove all the Don onto our blocker lore. And then swing. So let's see what he does. So we rest 2, we return the Dadan, we play the blocker lore again to go ahead and return the other Dadan. We play a Dadan looking at the top 5, we get another Dagura, and then we put 3 onto the Dagura and just swing with the Dagura. And he chooses to counter, and we go ahead and swing for 6 with the lore, and he goes ahead and Thunder Bugger us. Okay, so at this point, we are looking to be in a pretty good situation. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, we've got a blocker, we've got 3 life. Like, I don't know what he does, but he does. It looks like he just scoops there. So, unfortunately, he did scoop. It was a good game nonetheless, even though he didn't really hit us at all. He kept getting in the game, he kept fighting, but me, just with the amount of resources that I was able to get by compulsing the Dadans, by compulsing the laws, by just keep getting the resources that I could get over and over and over again, it just made it a very hard game for the Kaido player to play. But anyway, this was a very fun match to play. It was very interesting as well, seeing OP03 Kaido, and I hope you guys did actually enjoy seeing what Kaido can do in OP03, and maybe if we did see a 10-drop Kaido, this game could have been entirely different. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the final round, round 10. Later.